Two designers recently released their debut collection. Maybe not so recent, but fact is I've been dying to talk about it, so here we are. The first designer is Mezaiq by Ibrahim Omeza, do pardon my pronunciation, recently released their debut collection titled Oye, an 8-look collection that paid homage to the history and regal power of the ancient Yoruba civilization, with each look referencing the revered order in the Yoruba kingly hierarchy. For instance, this look called Balogun honors the Yoruba warlords. This piece called Yanla, inspired by the Yoruba title Iyanla, the chief priestess known for her spiritual leadership and healing powers, to the look titled Lode, inspired by the Iyalode title, a high-ranking female chieftain in the Yoruba traditional state, and so on and so forth. First, what I love most about this collection is that the designer gave us range to his creativity. From the simple yet interesting and intricately detailed pieces, looks that evoke sexiness and raw femininity, which by the way was heavily represented, love that. And then we got these experimental pieces that seem to give the couture and demi-couture-esque. Then the movement and dynamics of these looks, how the models were able to bring each and every piece to life, adding some form of mystique to the entire collection. And by the way, shout out to the amazing photographer Latif Salvador for capturing these moments for us. Also, if you pay a closer attention to each of these looks, you'd notice how the details on each look has got a symbolic reference to the Yoruba title it draws inspiration from. For instance, the crystal beads on this look symbolizes the Yanla's healing powers. The tassels and voluminous fringe on the skirt symbolizes the mystical movement of the wind. Overall, this was such an interesting collection, and for a debut collection, very on theme, very cohesive, bravo. So for the second designer, we have David Black, who also released their debut SS25 collection titled The Book of David Black. And guess what, guys? We got a couture collection. I am living for the drama. Pretty much wearable pieces, but still experimental and avant-garde. For this collection, it's also not just about the dresses. Every tiny detail gets your attention. From the models and how they understood to give life to each outfit. The pose, the shoes, the bags, the accessories. And the craziest part is that this detail you see here on this jacket was made using threads from the Ashoki fabric. The rose construction with the frayed edges. And don't even get me started with those pants. From the tassels to the fringed hem, I am living for this coat. The bow ties on this pant. The map of Africa, guys. The jacket with the constructed rose stems, the outer tailored corset, the silhouette, I am living. By the way, this is so dandy. The women's wear, the men's wear, outstanding. This was my favorite look. Overall, this was a very cohesive collection. Love the fluidity and also the nod to androgynous fashion, which was heavily present, especially in the men's wear. Also very rich in character, very couture and quite futuristic, but not so far into the future, to the point where we forget the fabrics that formed us. That being said, I can't wait to see what's next for both designers. So finally, what do you guys think about these collections?